Anybody who dip their finger for that, all you need to check yourself. Serious. No joke. And then he selects Fitzgerald, Ethelbert, Sleepy, Pomsite, Dotish, Lagoon, Hinds, this one, as the Minister of National Security. They read a budget for 4 hours and 12 minutes and only talk 2 minutes of national security. And the murder rate is now 503 murders with 2 months to go. The record is 558 back in 2008 under the very same PNM, Martin Joseph. Second place is Stuart Smallpin Young, 2018, 2017, 2018, they 538. And Rowley leaves this incompetent dunce in charge of your safety and security. And 322,000 all you vote that one because Indian and African. Bullets just decide who to kill when you see Indian or African. Bullets as third. But how come all the bullets with the African government heading mostly to the African children them? And every day I have to see picture of young African youth dead on the road. Baby escapes death. Leave that sleeping one day. Baby escapes death. Mommy and daddy shot dead. The blood of mommy and daddy coagulate, come together, and flow all over the baby. But he's sleeping. Killing spree. 5 murdered in 24 hours. Businessman gunned down while exercising. Vendor ambushed in the heart of Port of Spain. 2 executed in a Wallerfield house. Bullets miss baby. And here these are beautiful graduates of UE. But the little baby and many other babies, a baby from Diego Martin on the main road, shot dead, 2.5 years old. He will never get to put on a robe and graduate because a bullet ripped through his brain and kill him. 25 minutes of terror. Hassan Ali's doubles owners held hostage by bandits, assaulted and robbed during home invasion. Think about being in your home, your castle that you spend your money, you clean, you take care, and people rush into your home where your children are, your grandmother, your parents, and they abuse you, mash up your things. Think about as a man how you feel knowing that you're helpless because this government also stopped giving licensed firearms because they're trying to go after a man who Rowley didn't like as commissioner of police. Home invasion. That will scar you for life. Maraval businessman abducted and robbed. 4 shot dead in 24 hours. Fisherman fatally stabbed. Female relative detained. The weekend's homicide toll 9. Barrackpore man 80. 80, you know, you reach 80. You ready to relax and go to your open fire and so on, or go down in the ground to cool yourself. You're reminiscing, you're enjoying your great-grandchildren. But a Barrackpore man 80 attacked and tortured in a bedroom. Intruders beat and robbed family. Kunupian Enterprise residents disturbed and scared. We are scared. We have to pass through Enterprise about 6 times a day. So said taxi driver, Kunupia resident, but it's only murder and bullets. Hinds, government is aware of crime challenges. Like 2 days papers here. But Hinds say he's aware. Look what his awareness does. Look what his awareness does. Even when he's aware and awake, he's an idiot. So imagine that this is what is in charge. Noting that the murder toll for 2022 was close to crossing 500. Well, it crossed 503 now. Hinds said he was aware of the challenge posed by murders and called on recruits. Them now recruiting police, them now recruits no experience to help any murder. What them go do? Silence as crime source. Express. This is the 3rd editorial that I'm going to read from the Express in the last hour and 11 minutes. And it's another scathing attack on the incompetence of the PNM. But they just can't come out and say, get out, resign, you all have failed. Why Express? Silence as crime soars. The government's complete disconnect from the nation's prevailing state of fear over crime can only mean it has given up and decided to leave the public to fend for itself against criminals. If you know that the government has given up and is allowing the population to fend for themselves, the main responsibility, the first responsibility of any government is to provide safety and security for its citizens. So Express, if you are saying categorically that all the actions that you have analyzed of the government show that they have given up, then that means they have given up on their responsibility. They are shirking their duty, and therefore they must go. Express. I don't understand. With the murder toll just days away from crossing the 500, this was 25th of the 10th. Well, it crossed 500 already. 503 now, threshold, and set to eclipse the record of 538. Express, you are newspaper. I don't even research. I don't even have that. I just have that here. The record is 558. Some people say 550, but it's really 558 in 2008. The record is not 538. That is the PNM record that was 538. And then you Express said, vote PNM in 2020. And now it's going, now you're crying. Elections have consequences. This is who you supported. We have to wonder, what is the point of any government if not to deal with the country's most critical problems, which in the case, Trinidad and Tobago, would be rampant crime and a lackluster economy. Express, you are saying that on the two major issues, the PNM has capitulated, they've failed, they are no good, they are useless, they have given up. And yet you have not said a front page, resign and go. Our country is bleeding. The earth are run red. Get out. Why Express? No, serious. Why? To add salt to the injury of neglect, we have a Minister of National Security who appears to spend more time on social media handing out insults for every perceived slight against the government, with the leader of the opposition being his prime target. Based on his insistence on retaining the clueless Fitzgerald Hinds in the national security portfolio, we have to assume the Prime Minister likes it so. After all, he himself spends far more time focusing on the opposition leader and her team than he does on the problem of crime. This was always so. But you've realized it now. But what's the next step? Just leave it so? So Express, you say Prime Minister has given up. By his appointment of this club, he's given up. By his budget of 2 minutes, he's given up. By his lackluster performance and silence, he's given up and left the country to fend for themselves. By his attacks on Kamla, he's given up and useless. The economy is shattered and lackluster. They're useless. Then what's the solution then, Express? Help me. Leave it so? Or not that you should use your power like you used to put them there. Like you used with Asha Javid to take and to taint the perception of Kamla Prasad Bisas and her cabinet, who was performing 200 times better than this bunch of sleepyheads. Just like you use that power to remove good and replace it with evil, shouldn't you now use your power, your paper, your circulation, to print truth and to remove incompetence, to remove stupidity, to remove lunacy, to remove criminality? Shouldn't you Express lead the way as the #1 newspaper in Trinidad and Tobago for the last 40 years, peaking at 89,000 newspapers per day? Or you just write this and what? Then, shh, little ugly baby is sleeping. Don't wake up, ugly baby. If you wake up, ugly baby, might choke. Leave it. Shh. Let the Pomsite done sleep. Hinds, gangsters not targeting children. He dreamed out. He in the minds of gangsters. He talked to gangsters. He fueling gang. He and gangsters linemen. What is this? He could tell you the mens rea of a criminal. They're not targeting children. But yet, 7 children get shot. 6 of them dead in the last 3 months. Between the ages of 2 to 11. But they're not targeting children. So if a child in a car and you have drive past and riddle the car, you ain't target the child. You so good. They're such marksmen. Them is Robin Hood with AR-15. Them could shoot 4 people and miss the baby. They're not targeting. That's his comment. This fool. Just to remind you all, this one is still silent on the investigation into the murder of, how you know I go in there? Look at that baby. Now our babies are dying. Nobody cares. But we didn't care about this baby because a Venezuelan baby, migrant baby. Yaelbi Saravia. What about him? Bullets ripped through his head in his mommy's arms. Dead. Our baby is dying now. The same fool is in charge.